Hello again, this is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida. That's a 16 by 20 inch canvas, and this is frog tape, some skinny stuff. This is my little, I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not, but that's my thumbnail. And it looks sort of like this, which is, that's a big beach in the middle. So we're going to hope to do something with that. But in the meantime, I've got all kinds of other things I want to do, like I've got some Vivid Intense I mixed with Floetrol, but I'm not super thrilled with the color for the sky right now. And I have a stir stick. I'm not even sure what color it started as, but it's a sort of a greeny blue, and I prefer it wasn't. So I'm going to grab some Vivid Intense Fluorescent Blue, I believe it is. Put a couple, four drops in there. And it's still a greeny blue, so maybe that's what I started with. So let's see how it changes if I put a couple of drops of, if I can get it open. Oh, red violet. That's not good. That's a really bad start. Would have been better if my canvas had been pre-primed, but it's not. Let's see if we can get that off. That's starting over. Well, there's going to be some pink in the sky, whether I like it or not. So let's just make it so. Alright, I won't be stirring over the canvas again. Well, I guess I will, but I probably shouldn't be. So that's a slightly more purple color. There we go, there's the color. There's sky blue I'm looking for. And no matter what I do, it's just a start. And I'm going to use my spatula, and hopefully my lid is around here somewhere. I seem to have disposed of my lid. Nope, there it is. Cool. I don't mind the red violet, the extra there. I guess it wasn't a bad thing. So there's supposed to be some clouds in here eventually. But right now I just want to start by getting basic colors in place. And I'm thinking it's probably because it's so sheer, probably going to need more than one coat. Which by the time I work on other things, shouldn't be much of an issue. So it doesn't matter which direction your strokes go when you start, but it will matter when you finish. And like I said, there's going to be other colors in the sky. I like my OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatulas because they carry a blade of paint so nicely. I'm glad I have all that custom colored blue, which obviously started with the fluorescent blue, because adding it didn't do much at all. I really want to play right now, it might be a bad idea, with putting some of the Vivid Intense white in, just as a potential cloud. What is that? That can't be a bubble. No, but it can be something else. It does not belong. Whatever it is, it's gone now. So I didn't put anything in the Vivid Intense white because I just wanted to utilize the background color in the sky. Yeah, that's not bad. I kind of like that. It's the first time I tried this. And I do have to start from the center. That is kind of like what I have in mind for the clouds. I can't remember where I snagged the original picture shape from. It could have been an Instagram picture, but I'm really liking the white. There, that'll maybe a couple more over the over the red violet stain. Maybe that's a perfect time to do that. Originally the couple clouds I was going to put in were up the top. Spatula makes nice clouds. Right, the next thing I was thinking about was mixing up something for the sand. Right in this little dish. Let's see if I can do better. No paint chips. Wipe off my spatula on my studio rag, which I actually got damp beforehand this time. So I'm going to start with Abalone, which is a Prizm Pro. I don't need extra paint on the canvas. Chantilly lace. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about whether I like it mixed or not. And True Silver, which might be pushing my luck. Let's make sure my spatula is clean. I don't want anything else in there. I should just grab a new one, not take any chances. I kind of think that might be... Everything's got paint chips. Go figure. It's a studio. What do you want? I wanted some shadows in the sand. I want that thing that does not belong out. Now this is, like I said, this is like a stage 1, part 1. Depending on how things work out, I will certainly come back another time, I expect. I don't expect this to be done in one go. My timer is set to let me know when 16 minutes is up, but I'll have a few minutes after that. So let's see how long it'll take. I like this combination. I think it's a good combination. Abalone, True Silver, and Chantilly lace. I kind of want to take the tape off after this, because I just wanted my basic shape. I don't mind using all of it. Hopefully I have enough. It's cutting it pretty close. I'm really tempted to just put the green in that I wanted over on this side in a really similar way. Not sure how to avoid any spatula marks. A light touch is definitely a good idea. maybe leaving some texture in there that makes it look more natural isn't a bad idea either. Alright, so right along the bottom, scrape my spatula off. At least it'll be easy to remember the colors. So I've got Fandango, some Indian Spice. I think I'm going to indulge in some of this Aztec Bronze Vivid Intense. Pretty color. I've got some Triple Sec, which is a Prizm pour. Nice and bright. With a big clot in the tip. So, do I start with the tape on and pull it off? I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I've got to pull off my tape for the ocean, for the sky. Probably do that right now. Hope I can get rid of that little purple spot. Probably that might be there forever. Oh well, live and learn. There's supposed to be a mountain in here too. So we'll see how that goes. That'll cover up that purple spot quite nicely actually. As long as I do it. I'm wondering if it would be cool to use some cell activator, but I kind of like the modeling. And I kind of like the white space too. The negative space is why I put the Chantilly lace down in there. Lighten up some stuff. Don't mind if it goes a little above the horizon. Can always use the darker paint of the mountain in the background if I decide to go there. I am going to take a blob of paint, rub it right down the edge, and blend the edge in. I'm thinking about taking some deep amethyst, putting it in my dish along with some wintergreen, some royal sapphire, maybe a little more of the Fandango, and a little more gold. And I think it's time to take that bottle of Chantilly lace out of my way. Where's my cheat sheet? I've lost my thumbnail, which should be right here somewhere. Well, this is probably going to take a lot longer than I'm used to taking, but it is what it is, and I've been joining videos together lately, so don't want to overmix anything because I want it to look like, I don't know, rock face maybe? I meant to put some black iris in, but then I didn't. So I've got some more colors, but I could probably use them in my ocean. I just raised my mountain. That's 16 minutes. I'm going to set the timer for another 3 minutes. And when that goes off, that'll be my 1 minute warning to get ready for the next stage. If you notice there's a little green something at the top of the camera, at the top of the screen, that's my tape. It's got a marble attached to it. It's meant to make me aware of my head when it gets in the way. I don't hate that. And there goes my red violet, not a problem, all gone. And I didn't overmix my colors. So I have some kind of illusion of depth. And I think I can use most of those colors for my ocean. But I forgot that I was trying to move my greens down. So I'm going to wipe off my spatula. And steal a little paint, which is fortunately still pretty malleable. Part of me wants to take my spatula and put it right into the mountain and grab some, make some dramatic contrasts. Oops, I did it by accident. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Maybe I should wipe that off. Twice. I'm kind of looking for some shapes that might imply undergrowth. Definitely want to make that edge disappear. I didn't really think I could finish this in one. It's 1 minute left. When that goes off, like I said, I'll just reset and come back again. I kind of want to grab a fork or something similar. Since I don't know where the fork is, I guess it's going to be basting brush. Kind of think I should have used a little wintergreen in here. Alright, I'm glad I have a little bit of Chantilly lace at the back. I really want some texture in there. Alright, I'll be right back. I'll show you so far. So I'm back with stage 1 not being done yet, and that's okay. I notice I've got some color dripping over my top. which I should be able to fix in a while with another coat. Maybe even tomorrow. Alright, so where was I? Accidentally adding color from the mountain and a cat hair? What is that? I don't know what that is. But I do like the idea of having a few shadows in the foliage. And I wouldn't mind if it was more purple. And I did choose not to use cell activator. I'm just going to mess this around a little bit. And I wish I'd taken a minute while I was gone to find my fork. Because that would have made some interesting texture. But I don't think this is going to hurt anything either. It's more interesting now than it was a minute ago. Add a little bit along the edge. Didn't hurt anything either. I love the palette knife, the freedom of the palette knife pictures. There's some Richard Claremont is one of my favorite artists. He's an Aussie. Alright, so I need to continue on, and for this I'm thinking I need to clean up my, maybe another spatula entirely. Let's not waste time. So I want this to look like wet sand, which I'm thinking, get rid of the pan that I've got. That's something else, because I wanted to put the ocean in there. Maybe I should put the ocean in there next, because I have colors I can use. Let's do that. I've got Vivid Intense, Phthalo Turquoise. I don't need a ton of this. I do need to make some bottles go away though. Sparkling Aqua is a Prizm pour. Pretty colors, really pretty colors. I might be done. I thought I was going to avoid the Fandango, but I'm going to put a few drops of that in there. I've got Sea Monster. It's another Prizm pour. Let's give it a bit of a shake. I'm kind of thinking, as weird as it sounds, maybe some of the triple sec that I put in already, because I like the way the Fandango looks. Still got a clot in the top I forgot to remove. Never mind. So this is not looking so bad. Although I really want to do something with this. Rough up the edge so it looks like there's foliage. Maybe drag a little point out into the ocean. Stick my finger in there. Alright, so here goes nothing. To be careful not to dribble in my sky. Pretty colors. Usually I'll take a clean skewer and run it right across the horizon line, which is not beyond the realm of possibility still. Let's try it with the spatula first. Hopefully I have a steady hand today. Not so steady. Let's see if I can grab a skewer. I like the lines too. I'm going to take some of this paint right now, put it right over the edge so I don't have to think about it later. I'm glad I did the ocean now. I do have to remember I want that tape gone, I got to do it soon. Don't mind a little bit of leftovers from the mountain in there. Could be rocks in the shallows. And I'm really glad I put that triple sec in. I really like it. I'm going to turn this around. Start at the edge. So I don't know whether I'll go on or not. Chances are there may be another part added to this, so that once it's dry, I could put some little waves lapping at the edge of the wet sand. And you really could use cell activator in the mountain. And probably in the grass too, if you knew how to, give it a practice run. So that's pretty well filled in. And so is the edge, happily. And I'm dying to see what it looks like without the tape. That's not bad. I should probably let the whole darn thing dry, but I can start with my beach sand on one side. I want to cover this over. And I have some plastic big enough to cover it on the other side of the room. I'm not sure what I'll do with it yet, but it definitely means I'm going to have to mix my sand on the canvas, and I don't think I want it to be identical to the sand that I had, because there's no point, because it's supposed to be wet sand. And I like that bronze, and if I start with the bronze, the gold, boy, I'm nervous. Okay, so I need another dish. There's just no doubt about it. Maybe this butter dish. I have another dish, but I seem to have momentarily misplaced it. Go figure. Oh, I know. It's got yesterday's leftover paint in it. Okay, from doing swipe, scoop, spin drags. There's some more abalone. Try not to drip my tape through my painting. Putting some Indian spice. And back to the Aztec bronze, which I really like, the Vivid Intense. And if that's a big orange paint chip, it needs to go away. Yes, doesn't want to be in my painting. Okay, so no purple in the sand. I'm going to try and start this first. Was I? I was. Oh well, never mind. I just really like the shapes of this, and I can't wait to see what I feel about it tomorrow. I'm going to just dab into the paint so it has a chance to sort of mix with the bronze. Which reminds me of some kind of chocolate right now. Probably, if you were smart, and you weren't me, probably you would have waited and left the tape on and let everything dry. Oh well. Before doing this part. But if I leave a little white space along the edge, I could probably fix or fill whatever is missing tomorrow. spatula really does carry a nice blade of paint. And then, there's always my finger. I wasn't sure how this was going to look, and I'd like to find the original thing I took the picture, I did the thumbnail from, but because I think I like the colors as well, but I was pretty sure it didn't matter what the colors were. I want that little point be clear, but there's always tomorrow. I keep reminding myself. It's good to wipe off the excess every once in a while. And then it's good to pick up a whole bunch. There's my first stone in the sand. And there's a big lump of something that does not belong. Probably from my butter dish without a top. I love these spatulas because you can see, because you smooth the paint out, you can see quite clearly when you have a lump of something. I kind of like to go across. But since this is the first time, come off, the first time I've done anything like this, and I've wanted to for a while, I want to have enough layer so I can't see the canvas. Sorry, I think I interrupted myself. And I like to keep I kept the colors simple enough so I could reproduce them if I need something to cover an edge or something tomorrow. Whatever that was, it's gone now. Part of me wants to play with the edge of the waves. Let's see what that looks like for me. Push some paint down over the edge, which I will obviously be adding after you're gone. That is pretty much the color of wet sand. Pretty cool. I could probably pick up some of that spillage just by using a skewer. Hopefully one that's not too wet. That paint was almost dry. Wow, that's pretty cool. So this is Priscilla Batzel in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery. Not quite 100% sure if I'm 100% done. So if there winds up being another part, you'll understand. Trying to wipe the green off or the ocean colors off before I wind up with them in the wet sand, which I'm not sure would be amicable to my vision. But that's not a bad start. I think I need something else in the sky for sure. I'm going to wash my spatula off really quickly. Actually, I'm just going to drop it in the bucket. I have one more left. I have some beautiful LuvU Pink with a little bit of fluorescent blue and a little bit of fluorescent purple. No paint allowed. So maybe I'm going to take some of, too many mixing dishes. Take some of the white. Pretty sure my sky is mostly dry, but I'm also sure that it needs another coat. So this might be jumping the gun, but I'm here, near here. Knock some of that right over the edge, kind of like that. Don't mind if there's some texture in my paint. Not that kind of texture though. Maybe a little bit over the mountain too, cautiously. Alright, no matter what's coming next, this part is almost over. I wasn't expecting to add the purple, but I like it and I'm not unhappy that I did it. And there's always room for some more. Alright, this is Priscilla Batzel in Spring Hill, Florida, just in case I'm done, at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, saying I think I'll be coming back. Boy, I've got to finish that, don't I? And I've got just enough paint to go right in there. Get rid of my line of demarcation that looks canvassy to me. And most all of my edges are covered except for that one little spot that I now have paint on my finger to cover with. Alright, I love you guys. I hope you come again. One of these days I'll make an end card for my videos so that you won't have to listen to me tell you to shop my Amazon link and all that other happy stuff. I have 30 lists, 30 playlists. I see some canvas in there and I don't think it's going to hurt anything to stick my finger in, so it's going to happen. Since the basting brush is sitting right here, that's an invitation I can't avoid. And I did save a little paint, so if I need a touch up, I've got it. Alright, I love you guys. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to shimmer this at you. Cluster. My email address is easpb and the word gallery spelled out at gmail.com. And I'll just cut this off. Ooh, it's sparkly. I like the shapes. What can I say? Please give me a thumbs up. Share my videos if you would. Your comments keep my morale boosted. I really appreciate you shopping my Amazon link. My 2 books are there because I can, and unlimited possibilities. I'm not sure why I'm telling you any of this since I expect I might come back tomorrow. I see it's something I need to fix, but otherwise, I love you guys. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. Priscilla out. For the moment. So, I'm back. This is dry. I just spent, I don't know, half an hour putting grass in. And I used, Fandango, Wintergreen, Triple Sec, all Prizm pours, and a little bit of Prussian Violet. And I just used the tip of my spatula straight down, and then if I had paint on either side, I used that by tipping it over. And I'm going to put some purple shadows in, so I'm not going to add any more now. But after the purple shadows are in, I might go back and hit it one more time. I'm not sure what I'm going to use for the purple shadows, and I want to mute this line, which I might, it may or may not work. But I'm thinking the purple shadows could be similar to these purple shadows in the sky. And I had my purple right here. Cool. I also tried to tape together a few flat front spoons and dip that in my stuff. So I've got a little tiny spatula that I might try first, and I might switch my purples. I might need a much darker purple, but I'm kind of thinking I don't mind the brighter purple, which I'm just going to say is a custom color. Definitely like it. It zhuzhes up the greens nicely. And a dry canvas is great because you can wipe anything off. And I was going to apologize. I was going to like, sorry I'm not looser than I am, but I'm just sort of teaching myself how to do this with fluid paint pouring paints. That's what I've got mixed up, so that's what I'm using. I'm just going to keep bouncing that. Now I think what I want to do is take a little bit of this, put it in my lid, grab some of the Prussian Violet, seal that up again. Just mix it together. That's really dark. Okay, let's knock that off. Go back and get another bunch of that purple. And not mix it too thoroughly this time. Maybe I'll get looser as I go along, because that's what it seems like is happening. It's supposed to be dune grass and shadows. I wasn't sure how far I went along, but if I want to put more in, it's going to be another half an hour filling all kinds of stuff in, so I'm not going to do that for you right now. Trying to leave some highlights, but I'm not unhappy with the way that looks. Kind of like it a lot. Now, I'm going to be stuck with this lid. Ha! Well, I'm just going to turn it over and hope that it stays. What I really want to do is mix some paint. I've got some French silk, and I'm just going to grab my, it's not really the most convenient setup. I'm going to use that purple, I'm pretty sure. Put some French silk down. I have some black iris. I'm not trying to make a pretty color right now. This is the Indian spice that I hope is open. It's a little bit open. It's not open enough. Maybe I could use some Mayan gold instead. I know I can. I don't want it to be, I don't want this patch of wet sand to be as warm as it is. This is the Aztec bronze. That's a beautiful color, but it's much warmer than I anticipated it being. And I'm going to throw in some True Silver. And that was a Vivid Intense. The True Silver is a Prizm pour, and so is the Black Iris. And then I'm going to put a little bit of black in. I'm going to pull the top right off. Very little in the mix because this is some strong stuff. This is Meeden Black. I've got things where they do not belong, which is not helpful in a small amount of space. I think I'm going to use my small spatula. And I'm going to definitely grab some of the abalone to mute that down. I'm liking the colors. That's pretty warm itself. So I just got to go for it. And my intention is to go for it everywhere. I'd really like it to be darker at the back here, so it looks like it's a little bit shadowed from the grass. I really wanted to get rid of that line of demarcation, but the next time I do this, and there will be another time, I will not leave the tape line, and I will definitely curve things somewhat. I'm not sure if I can get rid of that line of demarcation. Did I just say that twice? But I'd like to. And it's going to be really hard unless I use some of the same color again. Right at the edge. Which is worth doing, I guess. I hadn't thought of that. And that's going to help break up that line a little bit. I don't think that can be a bad thing. My bottle doesn't seem to be that open. I never did use any of that blue. Prussian violet. You'll have to forgive me since this is really the first time I've done anything that I was trying to be somewhat realistic about. I'm pretty happy to have gotten rid of what seems like I've gotten rid of the line of demarcation. It'd be good if I kept my fingernail out of it though. And I just, there it goes, it comes and goes. Use my leftovers on the edge. Grab some to mute that all down. Now, do I want more abalone? I kind of do. I don't think it can hurt anything right now. What do I want? Chantilly lace. It occurs to me I should learn to do palette knifing, because that wouldn't be far off from the spatula. But I never have done palette knife work, and I probably should. I probably like it. It looks a lot more realistic to me than it did before I schmutzed it up. I'm going to put some color in the ocean. I think first I'm going to grab a little more. Now I suppose tomorrow, if I regret having put so much dark color on this side, which I don't think I will, but I might, I could always put some more abalone or French silk or something over the top of it. I'm sorry I'm quiet. Alright, so I've got a bunch of paint there, so there's nothing I can do without another paint dish. I'm going to cover that up so it doesn't get completely wasted. And I am going to grab a little bit of Egyptian blue, because I want some at the horizon line. No idea if that's too much or not. Looks like I have a filament on my blade of my spatula. It's leaving a mark behind. Hopefully I got it. No, I didn't get it. Maybe I'll use it for mark making. Just going to wipe that off. I'm going to use some Pebeo Iridescent Blue Violet. Excuse me, Blue Green. And then I'm going to hit it, I expect, with some Chantilly lace to give myself some potential wave potential. I kind of want some more of this without the bubble. I need a little color right in there. Now, Chantilly lace. I must have a small container because I'm going to add the Chantilly lace by dipping my spatula in, I believe. And I'll wipe this one off. And it shouldn't make any difference at all. If there's some blue color in there. And it's easy enough to make it go away. So an overabundance is what I want right now. And I might be almost done, but I'm going to show you how I put the grass in before I'm gone. And I might still do something to the sky. I feel like I'm wasting a little bit of paint because I'm putting too much on, but I'd rather have enough than not enough. I remember days like this at the ocean. I grew up in Maine on the beach. There, I don't mind that, and I'm not minding any of the way this looks either. Well, that's a different story right there, but I think it's better than it was. I was going to use some cell activator on a card and put it in my mountainside, but I kind of really don't mind my mountainside. I'm going to take a second and clean off this spatula in my bucket with a scrubby. If I never tell you I use scrubbies, I use a lot of scrubbies. Alright, I've got a few minutes left to tell you that I'm going to use some red violet on those clouds, I think. Although I'd really like some pink. Let me see. I've got some LuvU Pink. And I was thinking yesterday that I was going to... What was I thinking? Put more blue in the sky. But I think I like that LuvU Pink in the sky right now. So I'm thinking that the sky is pretty well done. I still want something red, or more red. Maybe a little tiny bit of jasmine. In this case, I'm going to take the smallest amount, put it right in there. That could have been a mistake. But I think if I'm quick, I might be able to save it. I don't want to go through all of this just to muff it up in the last 2 minutes. More. I imagine that the LuvU Pink is going to help me flesh that out a little bit. And I put a line in my sky. I don't want that there. There, I think I better quick like a bunny do some of the grass. And I tried a skewer. I tried my little pointed, multi-bristled pointed brush. But what happened in the end, and I'm going to be gone, is just me pouncing like that. And it's not a bad idea to pounce over the shadows, because I think that'll make them look more realistic. Still. So I'll probably be doing this for a while till my paint is gone. And as long as you put a little cover over your paint. Did I tell you what was in there? Yeah, I think I did. The triple sec and the Fandango. But I think I'm happier with this now. And I'm sorry it took so long, but it is what it is. I'll probably fix that in a minute, but